to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Biz Chicks TV. And we're here to bring you tips, tools, strategies, everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that is fun to run. And today is Tuesday. The Digital Diva is in the house. Terry Johnson, online from New York City, right here, right now. So you know what you need to do. Need to get a pen or your digital device, something to take notes on. Okay, there's if you want to do electronically, voice notes. Anywho, get something that you can take some notes with because we're going to learn and do today. TJ always brings us some outstanding information, and we're back at it right now. So, without further ado, TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, marketing strategy, tips, tools, and things to help you build your business online and help your brand grow and all those great things that you need to know. And they're always changing. But the constant is you want to build the audience and you do that with content. So today we're talking about the strongest content you can make. Strong as in getting you to your goals as a business or a brand. And of course, I always talk to my assistant, Jessica. You know, Jessica is my AI assistant. Everybody should have one. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, you can go check out the AI Aunties. That's a new series. You might want to check it out and see what's going on. But we'll talk a little bit about AI here and there because we can't avoid it. But I do use it. I admit to that I use it. And why not? It's because it's going to be my sounding board, my assistant, my coach, the thing that can look at balancing my opinion. I was trying to think, devil's advocate can be my devil's advocate. It can look at something that I have an idea and tell me if it's wrong or right. And it's more of a sounding board to push me to where I want to go, especially making content. And there's some new things going on with AI. We're going to talk about on Friday. I'm not going to talk about today. That's going to affect how you make content. We'll talk about those on Friday because I'm seeing a lot of worry online now that this is what is this going to do with my content and AI? And I was just going, okay, we're going to lean into everything I've said before. Don't copy and paste. Simple. Don't copy and paste. It's your sounding board, your devil's advocate, I'm going to take this little piece of thought and run with it and see where it goes. And let's, use some of this, use some of that, but you never just straight copy and paste. So that's what's going on now. And I see a lot of panic and I'm like, well, you guys don't listen to us.
We done talked about that. How long ago have we?
How many times? How many times? I can't even remember how many times, how many ways we said it. Don't copy and paste. It is a tool to take your idea and refine it. And that's what, we talk about, Biz Chicks talk about with AI Aunties. So tune into that. But there's a lot of fear and we try to tamp down the fear. So we'll talk about that on Friday. But I want to talk about how to make your content stronger in the sense that it builds your brand, which is builds your audience and connects to your call to action, which is the thing that you have set up that you want to accomplish, your goal. It could be anything, but your content has to make that connection, because otherwise you're just spinning your wheels online, making content for what sake? Just, okay, I'm posting. Well, good. What's coming out of that? And see what we've talked about this before. The influencer wants sponsorship deals. That's good for them. They want sponsorship deals, brand deals. They want to go on trips and get free stuff and this and that. And I see the conversations on online. Good for you guys. I'm not here for that. Brand deals are nice, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm starting to see it, that influencers are starting to worry about brands using AI to replace them. I kind of saw this coming. I think last year I just kept my, I just zipped my lip because I was like, as soon as that Sora came out, and then what do we have now? C-Dance 2.0 and Hey Jen, and you fill in the blank of your name of the tool. It doesn't matter. You can make a person. You can make an influencer just like that in seconds. So I know how brands and corporations and advertising works. I've been in there, and we don't have to go through the problems of looking for the right influencer, making them do what we want them to do or say what we want to say, or controlling them, because we're the brand. We can use AI. And I can see the people on the other side saying, well, AI is slop and AI is junk. I've seen some AI that doesn't look like junk. It's fooled me. Because now I look at things online as far as video, and I'm like, is that AI? I can't trust myself because it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So you think a corporation isn't going to use that? So instead of paying a brand influencer, what are they? Let's say $5,000. I'm just throwing a number out to make a piece of content. I don't have to give out $5,000. I can give out nothing because I'm using the tool that I'm already paying for. And you could say, well, it's going to be junk or slop. Well, these are professionals. They know how to get what they want out of the tool. So, and of course, they're going to have the enterprise level of the AI tool versus the one that we have, like ChatGPT Pro. These corporations use the enterprise level, which means they get more power in their AI. Their AI is stronger than ours because it's enterprise level, which means it's on the corporate level. They get carte blanche. So you think they're not going to take that, save their $5,000, put it back in their budget for something else, and make an AI influencer look how they want it to look, say what they wanted to say, and do everything they wanted to do with as little effort as possible? Now, who's not going to choose that? So the influencers are going, well, that's not fair. Life's not fair. I'm just saying, you need to see what's coming. See what's coming. So those are some of the things that's going on with AI, and we're going to continue to talk about it. And I had this feeling that it was coming. We haven't arrived at it yet to where brands have completely gotten off the influencer track with the human influencer and gone strictly AI, because we're still not there yet as far as perfection of, is this real or is it Memorex? Always remember that commercial with Ella Fitzgerald.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Yes, is it live or is it Memorex? And she's singing, and she hits a note and shatters the glass.
Yes, yep. And
they record it, replay it, and it shatters the glass.
Right. Dude sitting in the chair.
Yes,
He's listening to the music.
Oh, great marketing. Advertising, I've always paid attention to as a child. Yeah. So I remember the great things like that. Also, the No Wine Before It's Time, Orson Welles. We're taking it way back.
Ooh, yes.
What's the beef lady? Wendy.
Oh.
Those kind of things are marketing gold, marketing genius. So there's opportunity there. And what I'm saying is that those things work because they give out a message that connects. So that's why I still remember them. But the Memorex part, that's why I was like, okay, back then it was cassette tape. Now it's AI.
And wait, you were getting live in Memorex on cassette. Come on now.
Anybody, for the Gen Zs, if you're watching, what's a cassette? Go to YouTube, and there's lots of videos talking about the analog life that we've lived.
Right.
We've lived the analog life. And I'm, on the other hand, I'm glad because we have these references like the Memorex commercials and all the other things that, you know, with TV we had to experience in the moment. There was no recording. There was none of that stuff when I was a kid. There was no recording. It was the Motown at 25 Michael Jackson moonwalk. If you missed it, you missed it.
You missed it, and it wasn't no replay.
No replay. You missed it. So everybody was talking about it at school like, what? Oh, you didn't watch it? Michael Jackson tore it up. Exploded people's heads. The people in the audience went crazy. We went crazy. And you can see it now. It's on YouTube. It's not as clear. I have not seen a 4K version yet. But I was like, you can see it now. But back then, if you missed it, you missed it. That's why they called it must-see TV. There was no recording. Unless you were in the industry. So if you're in the industry, yeah, of course, you know, they had those big tapes and you can, you know, if you had that kind of clout, you can watch it on tape. But, you know, if it was broadcast on Friday at 8 p.m. and you missed it, you missed it. So we're you know, we're not in those days now. You can, you know, watch what you want to watch. So I watched the show last night that comes on Sunday. For some reason I don't like to watch it on Sunday night at 9. I'm like, it's just something about the atmosphere. And then they shoot it dark. So I like to watch it in the daylight because my eyes are, you know. But I always watch it the next day, which means I have to avoid social media. So all day yesterday, I was like, I can't go on social media because they'll be talking about the show. So I was like, okay. But those are the things that I restrict myself. Other people don't. But, you know, those are just the times we live in that, you know, you miss something. And then we had the Memorex. But, you know, now we're in a place where we can make content. We can do things. We can use AI to make a person. And in the beginning, it was horrible. And now as we evolve technology-wise, it's getting better and better and better, faster, in increments that are faster. And I think I may have said a while back that we're not going to be able to trust anything on the internet. And we're here.
Remember way back, I'm going to say 2015, when about that time when we were just getting started on BizChix.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, because it was 2008. No, because that was when Obama was. Ooh,
yeah.
We've been here a while. Okay,
yeah.
So because Adobe had cloned his voice.
Yes, I remember.
And people were like, that was him saying it. But Adobe had started doing the voice cloning things.
Yeah.
And people, you know, that wasn't video. That was just voice.
Just voice, just audio.
But that was major back then.
It was. It was. And it got us thinking about, oh, they could, you know, how it could negatively affect society instead of positive. But
and so how do we know if that was a real person talking?
Right.
If you're just listening to something. Now they have the picture to match the mouth. They got the picture to match the mouth, and both of these were by Adobe.
Wow.
Because remember Photoshop? Okay. Photoshop can make you can put
when Photoshop got going, they really lost their minds over that. And
oh my God.
Yeah, look where we are now. But look where we are now, almost 20 years later.
And you can literally, it is, you can make people, like you said with Sora, you can make people do stuff. And remember they had Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting?
Yes. Wasn't that? We were like, ooh, that's a movie we want to see.
And it wasn't a movie.
No, somebody had took the AI clips and strung it along. But see, again, that's a good example. Thanks for bringing that up. That's an example of experience. somebody experienced in movie making said, hey, let me show you what I can do. So instead of a computer and a monitor and a this and a that and the memory chips and the this and that, I could just give it a prompt and get it to do what I wanted to do, because that is the experience of the person knowing how to make the content.
Right. And they knew what instructions to give to get the effect that they wanted.
Right. And it probably wasn't instantaneous, because you do have to go back and forth and say, okay, because sometimes the arm will be turned a different way, or the face. So you do have to go in and fine tune it. And again, that's somebody that has experience and they know film editing, filmmaking, and they love doing it. Because otherwise, a regular person will like, I don't have time to sit here and do it 50 times to get it exactly how I want. But that's like, when I use Photoshop or any of the photo editing tools, I'll sit here and click and do this because I want it the way I want it to be, versus someone who doesn't really care would go, okay, I'll just go with the first thing smoking. I'm like, but that's cool for you. But somebody that knows how to photo edit or film edit or whatever, they're going to take the time to go through 10 steps to get it the way they want. Correct. And then that in the future will not be a process, because instead of doing the 10 steps, it's going to be the one. We're just not there yet, but we're getting there. Mm-hmm. So see how this piles on top of all of the fear of the AI. And thank you for reminding us about the Obama voice, because that was 2008. That was the fear back then. Look where we are now. Such a trivial thing. Oh, Obama's voice. Now looking at it, it's like, oh, guys, you don't even know what's coming. You don't know what's coming. We could go back in 2008 and say, hey, let me show you guys something. It would have blown their minds. They would have, it would have been like, God. Oh my God. Really, it would have been prehistoric times.
Yeah.
Almost
that
in
really
a way.
Wasn't, yes. And so you thought you couldn't trust the internet then.
Right. Woo. I'm telling you, I've seen things, and then people have said, well, that's AI. I was like, are you kidding me? I look for things that aren't AI. I call them AI tells. Like, I look for the things that, okay, that doesn't match. The text is wrong, or the this is that, or something. I was like, you're kidding me. That's AI. So now I'm like, oh man, can I share this or talk about it? Because it might be AI. So now you got to put the disclaimer.
Right.
But and go ahead.
No, but I can see that, right? And you talked to us last week about people in, was that last week? And people in Substack and
is that the new tool they put in to check for the AI?
Yeah, like I'm going to actually go in there and do it. But when it's written, like you said, when it's a written thing, you can read it. And I don't care if you wrote it with AI.
Right. It's good. It's like you brought up the Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt clip. People didn't care if it was AI. They was like, I want that movie, because it was so well done.
It was very well done.
It was a fight sequence that it was like, we want that. Oh, AI made it. I don't care. It's like the pizza that comes out that we keep talking about the Jetsons and the beginning opening scene. They're like, the Elroy wants a pizza, and she pushes the button and the pizza flies out, and he tries to bite it while it's flying. He doesn't care that the thing that mom didn't put it in the oven, and it came out of the the I forgot what it's called. The replicator, whatever it was. Replicator.
Replicator.
He ate it. I want a pizza. He ate it.
Oh, okay. Wait. So mom went back there rolling the dough.
She was
putting the pepperonis on, or the sauce and stuff. We're pushing buttons now. This is a good analogy.
She pushed the button, and the pizza came flying out of the replicator and flying in the air. And he was trying to bite it. He didn't care. It tastes like a pizza. We're there. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
That's good though.
But see, some people are still going, oh, that's AI, or this or that, or poo poo poo. I'm like,
mom wasn't slaving back there in the kitchen, mixing up the dough and the sauce and slicing the pepperoni.
It's like the mac. Remember we were talking about the mac and cheese? Don't experiment on Thanksgiving. Well, that machine is gonna make that mac and cheese just like Grandma made it back in whenever her day was, and there won't be any experimenting on Thanksgiving. It's gonna come out like we want it.
Yes, and somebody just don't tell Grandma it was AI.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say, but we're there, and we're trying to make light of it, and it could be a scary thing, but I always tell all of the changes in our world and society going back to whenever have always been huge things, and people have been afraid. I watch a lot of historical TV shows and dramas, and there's always some kind of reference to something that we use today, and they were scared as heck. This is going to destroy the world. It's going to destroy the world, but it didn't. So yes, there are issues with AI. We acknowledge that, but they're working on it. Okay, so let's get back to the strongest content, because AI plays a part in all of what we're doing now. And as far as, like I was saying about recognizing the content, it's it's like you said, I said before, it's not really, we're gonna get to a point where it really doesn't matter how the sausage was made. The sausage tastes good. We're gonna get there. So not there yet, but we're gonna get there. So again, I was talking to Jessica, and we were talking about things, and I'm gonna read what she was saying about what we're talking about. The strongest content. So we're talking about authority. So authority builds trust, but usability drives action. If your audience can't apply your insight, your content will inform them without moving them. This matters because people rarely take action based on information alone. They act when they believe the information can work for somebody like them. That's the part of the strongest content that gets them to act, because you can give out 10 tips to do blah, 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 whatever the thing is that 10 tips to whatever. But is that the strongest content that can move them into action? Because we want to move them into action, because just consuming content and giving out content online, which is, basic stuff or authority stuff or authority content, doesn't move the needle as far as getting people to go through that journey where they go through your call to action, where they go to your link and they click and buy. See, it doesn't do that. So that's why you have to have the strongest content. So there's more. So she was saying it takes your audience from how do I make better content to how do I create content that changes what someone believes is possible. That's important, because we were talking about this before, about getting them to believe that they can do it. Because you could make a course or talk about how to do something in your industry or niche, but it has to click in their mind. Because because you're saying it has to connect with their mind, and they have to believe it's possible. And I think we call it believe, something about confidence or belief that they can accomplish the goal that you're presenting. Because see, that's a part of it. That's the action. That's the movement in the call to action. What gets them to move towards that? So it's not just, okay, here's 10 tips, or this is how you do X, Y, Z. That doesn't get the train to move. That doesn't get the person to move towards doing the action. Like we say here, we like learn, but you got to do. There's an action that needs to be taken. Mm-hmm. So the strongest content makes that action possible. Because the connection has to come in your audience's mind. Even though you're thinking, well, I'm on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever, and I'm saying, this is the way how you do X, Y, Z. This is how you accomplish this, this, and this. That's just a presentation of your authority and your information, that you have knowledge. That doesn't get them to act. That doesn't move the needle for them, because it has to click in their mind. Right? Because we want the action. We don't want to we're not lecture. We're not here lecturing and, oh, that's class for today. No, we want you to do the thing that we set up, the system, the process that we have set up, to where you're going to get the relief to your problem, and you get the solution, the answer that you need. See, it's not just about the content of the 10 tips to do this and 10 ways to do that. And, the listicles is what they used to call them. The listicles of this is, and I've done my list. I'm done. that doesn't move the needle for some people. And it definitely doesn't move the needle now because of the content that we have that AI is making. It's making content like the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise thing, where that's some good content. That's some strong content. See? All right, so just a little bit more. Let's talk about this. So when you talk from a position of being an authority, that's the place where you think because you're teaching online, I'm presenting content and I'm showing you how to do this. Your message may not be moving people into action. Moving people into the call of the action is where your revenue lies, where your goal lies, what you want to accomplish lies. And it doesn't have to be selling a product. It could be like Fran is with the conference that they're putting up. You want people to sign up. Or you want people to sign up and purchase this and that, or whatever that journey is. See, they have to be not pushed, but guided into that. And authority content doesn't do that where, I'm the authority on this and this and this. You should listen to me. Okay, well, you got my attention, but does that push the person in the action of doing the thing that you're telling them they can do? They have to believe it first in their mind. That's what we're talking about here. People forget information, but they never forget a shift in the way they think about a problem. You have to focus on content that changes how your audience thinks. Don't only create content that teaches people what to do. Create content that helps them believe they can do it. And that's important. Creating content that helps them believe they can do it. That's the strong content. That's the strong content. They can do it. See, there's lots of people out here that they're into, say, weight loss or fitness or whatever, and they're doing the content of showing themselves working out, doing yoga, breathing, meditation, whatever it is. But that doesn't guarantee that the person consuming it is going to believe they can lose the weight, or they can become stronger, or they can, whatever the end goal is for them. The action part of it, you have to figure out, I need to make better, stronger content that gets them, okay, yes, look at me. I'm fit and trim. I've worked out. I've lost the weight. You can do it too. And some people are going, I don't see it. I don't see it. They're in the dark. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And your content is going over their heads because they don't see themselves doing it. So you have to make stronger content to where they can believe they can do it.
That is the premise of every open house.
Oh, do tell. Let's hear some more about that.
Because the whole reason for doing an open house is so that a prospective buyer can see themselves living here. It's not just opening up the house. Why do we peruse a magazine? Like Architectural Digest, whatever, Town and Country, whatever magazine it happens to be. You're going through the magazine what did they say? Window shopping.
Mm-hmm. You're imagining yourself in that scenario.
Imagine walking through your chef's kitchen with the apron sink and that's why.
And another part of that is why real estate agents use what you call it staging, right? When you stage a house, because the house may be in a, say everything is older or there's stuff or whatever the reason is, there's companies or people that come in and go, we're going to stage this house to be a certain aesthetic to attract. And like you said, so people come in and see themselves living there. The house is for sale, sure. What's the extra step, the stronger content that gets them to believe they can live there? You can tell them.
We can hang our art on this wall, and we can. Oh, I love the ball and claw tub, and I enjoy the.
I love this example because they're like things you're listing. They're modernization things in real estate, in houses, in interior design that are in. Like there's a certain
Yes.
stove that's in. There's a certain, like you said, the tub, but there's either the modern looking tub or the claw footed tub or the this. See, all of that aesthetic, it changes. So you have a staging person or the company, they know those things. Oh, this is popular now. So let's change the knobs on the stove, or let's do this, or let's do that.
Right. So if it's mid-century, you want to, okay, so mid-century was, what was that, Mad Men era?
Yes, the 50s.
Yes. So all of the furniture has that
that look, that
Frank
is
Lloyd, the Frank Lloyd Wright look.
Yes.
You know, and it's very modern, but it's still older.
Right.
It had wood paneling on the wall, some other stuff, but it was updated.
Right.
For a more modern appeal.
Right.
But it was definitely nostalgia, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
And then some of the homes, some people want minimalist.
Yes.
Where there's nothing in the house.
Exactly.
But a table and a flower, right?
Right.
And you're like, okay. A little cold and sterile in here, but okay, that fits somebody's vibe.
Right. And see how all of that fits. All of that has to be taken in account. Yes. You can't just say, well, here's a house for sale. It's a 1950s ranch style, da-da-da-da. You got to do more. Stronger content, because the person has to, when they walk through the door, well, when they're walking up, they got to imagine walking up every day. When they go through the door, they have to imagine, I come home from work every day. Is this a place I want to be?
And that is why it is important that you look at the neighbor to your left, then the neighbor to your right.
Yes.
Like, okay. And you're crossing your fingers that these people's house gonna be in.
We talked about that. Remember, we were talking about the car on the blocks, like a junkie neighborhood. That house is nice, but the house on the side and down the street and this and that, and what's going on? Like, well, I gotta drive down the street to get to my house every day. Do I want to do that? All those things factor in.
Yes.
All of those things. Yeah.
So
Dr. Tachi's here.
Hey, Dr. T. So those are different pieces. I'm thinking of that as some content, because that's content.
It is.
When you driving by and you see the house, I mean the car up on the blocks on the front lawn.
Content is what you see and what you hear, what you smell, what's going on. All of that is content. So we're saying here with the strongest content, you can be, well, I'm the best real estate agent in this area and whatever, and I'm the authority, but if you're not doing the things that we're talking about when you're trying to sell the house, it doesn't matter of your authority. That's one signal factor to a prospective buyer. But like we said, you show them a house, they have to see themselves in it. You have to make sure they can connect with that. That's
okay, so I have vivid imaginations for stuff, right? And if they got to duck and hide and crawl on, like army crawl to get to the front door,
army crawl,
this ain't the neighborhood for you. Okay.
Because that's important. All those things are important. So that's what I'm thinking about. Making content for social media. It seems simple, but it's not easy. Because these are things you have to consider. Like, why won't people buy I made this course? Nobody's buying it. Well, there's a whole thing. There's a whole list of things that you have to do. And one of them is you can't control, because it's their mindset of, can I do this? Will it work for me? Will it solve my problem? Because remember, I said this before. They're on the internet looking at entertainment on Instagram and TikTok and whatever, but there's a problem in their mind. They're carrying it around on their back. It's always there.
I'm going to use myself as an example.
Okay.
So I have my certification in AI, and now I would like to help people train on AI, right? But the message wasn't clear or approachable. Even though I'm not technical when I speak, I went back and looked at my website.
Okay.
That teaches the class. And I'm like, I just took a step back and I'm like, I would be confused about
Yes.
this.
Yes.
I was like, no, we're going to have to do something a little easier.
Because you're looking through the audience and audience's eyes instead of your eyes of this is what I want to accomplish. But is it going to do that? So you look at you put yourself in the audience spot.
So when we put together the AI aunties, we were like, okay, we may not like teal and we may not like something else, but we need to be able to appeal to the audience and what are they looking for. And so I've spent yesterday scrapping stuff and moving stuff and switching up the website so that or revamping, retooling, because AI is so easy now. I can just go in there and tell her,
you could do the tweaks.
So now it should be a easier flow.
Yes.
Not talking from the doctor's perspective with all the jargon and the medical.
Yes, all the things they know. Yeah.
Talking to, oh, so what would you miss? And I used AI I said, I need you to simplify this because what do we do?
I do that all the time. I'm always rewrite this, make it easy to understand. Simplify this, explain that in terms that, fifth grade. There's different ways to say that, but they're all doing the one thing that we want, which is take this jargon, this confusing content, text or whatever, and make it easy for people to consume and read.
And I told her I don't want it polished. I need it to be where somebody can understand. Right. Well, okay, then I heard Chris Tucker. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay, so if they can't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, it's probably not strong content.
There's no connection. You cannot connect with somebody who's confused about your messaging. That's one of the points. Oh, I see, here. Oh, how do I get more this? How do I get more customers? How do I get more people to know about me? There's nothing happening. Well, look at what you're saying. Does it make sense? Is it clear? Is it simple? Is it making a connection or confusing people? I always talk about the Baskin Robbins 31 flavor. Sounds good, but when I go in, give me the chocolate.
Where am I going? And like you walk in to this big spacious place and like, okay, it reminds me of going into Walmart or Costco. You walk in the door and you're like,
oh, Costco, man, that's a mindset that you got to be ready for, because there's anything and everything in there in bulk quantities, and you're thinking, and it's like, okay, and you
so
gotta be careful.
You because there's a whole system, it's like, okay, you got to get geared up before you leave the house to go to Costco.
Your mindset, you got to get the Costco battle mindset.
Put on the armor and be like, okay, let's go to Costco.
Because those things look good, but it's like, well, there's 100 pack. I mean, it might spoil before I, consume it all. Then that's not saving any money.
No.
So those are some of the things. But I love that we're having this conversation, because all of this, how do you get to that point? And I'm glad that Jessica said this is the question you ask yourself. What does my audience need to believe before they will take action?
What do they need to believe? Not what I believe, that what I want them to believe about my situation.
Right.
But
what does my audience what does my audience need to believe before they will take action? That's very important. The one thing that you're going to take away from that is you're going to ask yourself that question. That's how you're going to make the stronger content. That's how you're going to make the content where it goes into their mind and it clicks that they can do it. Just because you're saying it doesn't mean that they think they can. You're saying it. Okay, great. And you're saying it in a clear, simple way. And, anybody a baby could understand that, but it's still in my mind. I got to be, while I'm that baby, can I do it? That's the content you make. And it's easy to do, because I just said, here's the question you ask. And if you need help with that, here's your AI tool to help you.
And we have a question from Malik.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asking, how are you making good content?
Right. Ask yourself, how are you making, ask yourself, are you making good content? Because it gets to the point where people are thinking, I need to be authority. I hear that a lot. I need to be a thought leader. Like, no, you need to say something that makes sense to the audience that you're trying to reach. And it could be simple. You don't have to be the authority. Well, I'm Professor so-and-so, and I have, I went to this and I have this, and those credentials are great, but sometimes it's the person that has done, have gone through the battle. They've gone through the war. They have the scars of, I've been where you're at now, and I know what to tell you to do this. Like, when in the military, they tell you got to keep yourself down, keep your butt down, and crawl. There's a reason why you have to crawl under that barbed wire, and they tell you to keep your butt down, because you're going to get your butt shot off when you're in the war or a battle or whatever. Oh, he's got I'm sorry, Malik, he's got a clarification here.
He says, what I mean is that you are giving an advice to other people.
Okay, so you mean I'm giving or you're giving?
Okay.
Okay. He's got another comment.
How do I know that you are good in what you're telling us to do?
Because it gets into not being, thank you for asking that. It gets into not being an authority. It means that you're here constantly providing good value over time. See, that's another thing that people get online and they want to be the authority. They want people to follow them quickly. I can't wait a year. I need them to do it now because I want the money. No, you have to be in the same spot constantly, giving out valuable content, giving out valuable advice, sharing, like I just said about, I've been through the battle where you're coming through now, the obstacle course. I've been through that. So let me tell you how to do it, because I've done it. And I show you that. Yeah. And I show you that by saying it, not the tips. Like I said, people go, well, 10 tips to make the best content for Instagram, 10 this and that and that. Thank you, Dr. Tati. Yes, it's a body of work, not just one piece of advice. You're here for the duration.
And you talked about this, well, because some people don't know what their audience pain point is.
Right.
But you talked to us before about social listening, yes, going into wherever your audience is gathered together, and yes, you're listening to find out what's bothering them so that you can tailor what you do, okay, so tailoring what they want,
or
not
refine,
what you want,
or refine, or making sure you're getting to the point, because there's a lot of information.
Right. So you're making sure that you give them what they need, not yes, necessarily what you've created.
Yeah, or what you think they need. Because right, I'm telling you, conversations are happening. That's the good thing about social media. There are conversations everywhere. Pick your poison, pick your place. LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads is a good place if your audience is millennial. Threads is hot and popping. There are so many things going on over in Threads. If you want to get in the millennial mind and what they're talking about, so you can make content to get in front of them, you go to Threads. If you're grouping, and that's why I talk about generation levels so many times, and I give you data studies about where boomers are hanging out, where Gen X is hanging out, where Gen Z, because those are the places where you're going to go and listen by just going into the app and seeing what's popular, going to the search feature, seeing the trending, seeing what's popular, doing a little digging. All you got to do is tap on one of the little things in trending, wherever app you're on, and you're going to get some kind of context. Now they give you AI summaries. I believe Threads, let me check real quick. I think Threads gives you AI summaries. So you're like, well, what is this about? They'll give you a little summary. Oh, they're talking about X, Y, and Z. Let me see real quick. So when I go to search, so when I go to search on the Threads, trending now, there's a whole bunch of things. So I could look at, I know this is popular, so I tap on it. And then when you tap on one of the trending items, they give you a summary of what it is. And then you get to see people's posts and you get to see what they're really posting. Now, here's the thing. Some people, there's going to be some junk there because I think we talked about this way before. People just want to get on. I think it was the news jacking when we were talking about Twitter. People would just post stupid stuff on the popular hashtags because they want to be seen with junk. So you got to learn how to filter out what is junk and what is somebody's valuable thought or opinion. Yeah, the input. Same thing with Reddit. You got to, there's a whole lot. I got to swim through all the muck before I find something that's usable. That's a part of it. Now, and I always tell you this, you never spend a lot of time on this. You never spend hours. You 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at lunch. Later on, after your work day is over, you can spend a little bit more time, but that's up to you. But you're not going to be here hours because you can get sucked in. See, you just want to touch on it. That's what the social listening part is about it. And that's what a lot of people don't use, is to see what is my audience talking about. Go to the trends, go to the search, and you'll see. Go to the popular hashtags, go to the popular whatever in the app and the platform, and you'll see. Same thing with Substack. Substack does it too. Most talk about one of the new places.
Yeah, you can find out what people are wanting to talk about. Everybody,
right?
This was like the Google Spaces. What was the Google thing?
Yes,
Circle.
I forgot what it was. The circles or something.
Yeah, Google had this, and of course they let it go. But it was a place that you could go and hear about a subject matter you were interested in, and you were able to put your 2 cents in, or you were able to speak into that space.
And see, this goes into also the social listening aspect of it. Oh, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to talk about. It's because you're not thinking of your audience. Your audience is always talking online. They're there.
Yep.
They're there. Now, some of them are going, I talk about this too. I call it Periscope marketing, where they're going underground into the private chats because of all the bullying and harassment and all that other part of it. So, you know, if you're not social listening, you need to do it now before more and more of your audience starts having these conversations with their group chat. The family group chat, the friend group chat, or like Snapchat, the private part that you can't get into. See, then you'll lose a valuable resource.
Correct.
But a lot of people don't do that. And it's not eavesdropping or whatever. Or you're just simply looking at the conversation, and you could join in too as a brand. Lots of brands do it. Who does it? Is it? I'm thinking Wendy's, Duolingo. There's a lot of brands, excuse me, corporations like that. They will get into popular topics. There's even one here in New York. The Chrysler Building is on Threads, and it talks like a person, like a New Yorker, and they get into conversations, and it's very witty, tongue-in-cheek stuff. But that's how you do it. You come in. You can come in opinionated and alienate, but sometimes they don't. I think Wendy's comes in as like they're joking, like their thing is doing jokes. And remember that the Popeye's chicken sandwich came out, and they had the chicken wars and all of the
wars. Yeah,
Chick-fil-A was fighting with Popeyes and Wendy's about the chicken sandwich.
KFC,
it was,
and then KFC tried to join in. I was
yes.
like, okay.
Yes. All that comes from social listening, because they have social teams that their job is to stay online all day and see what they're saying about the brand or about the industry. And then they check it out and they go, okay, this is a place we can get into. The best example of this was the Super Bowl, I think it was New Orleans, where the lights went out. This was I want to say 2012, 2015 or whatever. The lights went out, the game stopped because you can't play in the dark. Oreo came in and boom, They made content off of that about dunking in the dark, about you could still dunk in the dark or something. I forgot what it was. Genius marketing. They talked about that thing for years because one, they got into what was being said. Because the conversation on Twitter and whatever was about there's no game. What do we do? Well, go in the kitchen and get some Oreos and some milk. That's how you do it. One little piece of content. And the thing is, I was really proud of this. I'm trying to think Nabisco. I don't think Nabisco owns them. Whoever owns them. They were really quick with it because when you're doing social media and corporate stuff like that, it had to go through so many checks and balances. But this was time of the essence because the game was happening then. That means they had social listening teams. That means the social media team was on it and connected with all of the things that it had to do. Like, this thing got to go out now. Because we got to get on, we got to ride this wave now. There's no tomorrow. There's now. So that's some of the things that with marketing and marketing strategy, you have to be really quick on the draw. Doesn't have to be like that all the time because you can burn out. Like people think, and like I said, you only spend a few minutes of your time each day social listening because you can get burned out.
But in order for that to work, that means you need to be ready when that moment hits that you're going to have to take action. You cannot be like, oh, let me build my audience or let me build it. No, that needs to have happened already before the moment comes when you can dunk in the dark moment.
Dunk in the dark. You could do a quick commentary on whatever's going on. And what I love about it now is because time of it is in the essence, or you want to do a quick thing. That's why you could just pull out your phone and do a quick 30-second video.
Right.
It doesn't have to be polished.
But you would have had to have your system set up.
Yes, you have to have your system set up. See, because that's it. Thank you for bringing that back because when you're making the content, I think I said this at the top of when we started, if you missed it, that you're just making content and the fall off. They're just like, okay, well, where do we go with that? You putting out a piece of content that you polish and I've written this and it took me a week. No. Make the content. It has to drive them into action in doing something. It has to go to your link in bio if it's Instagram, or you put the link on LinkedIn and this is where you sign up for the conference, or they sign up for this, or they buy that, or they get into your program, or they learn more. See, all of that is a call to action. You have to have that because if you don't, people are just driving to the end and it's like, okay, well, now what? You have to direct them. So, and we got some more comments here. We got a lot of comments here. Thank you.
You're gonna have to tell us how to pronounce your name. Thank you.
We'll say got it.
And
thank you very much for the comments. Thank you. Because a lot of this, like I said, we're not here talking like authority figure or you must do this and you must do that. It's all about the audience. It's about, well, is this resonating with you? Do you think you can do that? That's the whole part of the content. Thinking that you can do this. This is actionable content. This is actionable advice that I can use. This is something I can do. Not just a list of the top 10 ways or something, or the top 10 tips. That doesn't make you an authority. And like Dr. Chachi said, her comment, I'm going to read it again. She was saying, yes, it's a body of work, not just one piece of advice. You have to be here all the time. That's the thing with people. Oh, I should be, YouTube is the place to be. I should have a channel, but you have to put stuff up all the time. Oh, I need to be on TikTok. Well, you got to put stuff up all the time and not just content. It has to be strong content.
Now, I was at a conference last week, and that was one of the things they said. You need to be posting.
Yes.
People are not going to take you seriously if you got a one and done post.
What does that do?
Nothing. Even if it doesn't go viral, even if you get a few crickets, you are constantly posting. So now you have credibility in the space because you have been consistently posting.
You're there, whether there's 100 people talking and responding to you or one. You're still there with your strong content. And you hear people, oh, provide value. It's not provide value, it's strong content and the things that we're saying here today. So let me read this question that I said. How do you do that? How do you make that content? You ask yourself, what does my audience need to believe before they will take action? The action that I want them to take. Well, they need to believe this. Okay, make that content. Well, how do we make that? AI could do it in like 2 seconds. And then you refine it. You don't copy and paste. You refine it, and then you I go to Canva and make a story thing, or I go here and make that. Or you can even get ChatGPT to make the content for you. They make carousels and things for Instagram now. They make images now.
And when using the AI to create that, you're the genius behind what AI is using.
Right.
You are the one, it's your genius that you're sharing. So like you talked about the people who do workouts or what have you, they have had that experience and they're sharing that with their audience.
Yeah, the bodybuilders and the people that talk about changing your body or working out or what, however, they weren't born like that. They were in a place where they were out of shape, out of this, out of that, and they wanted to get healthier, and they did it, and they're showing you the journey. You're seeing the end result for them. But if they're doing it right, they're going to say, hey, you think you can't get to look like me, but you can, because here's my before. It's the before and after.
Right. So you are still taking them along a journey that they only see this part of the journey. They don't see all of what you went through, but you're beginning to.
Did you see Beyonce when she was a child? There's video of it, but everybody sees her now. Same thing. You know, I can't say Michael. I was gonna say Michael, but we've seen it since his child. But you see people that, you know, oh, I would love to be Taylor Swift. Well, do you know what Taylor Swift had to go through when she started out as a nobody? Name your favorite artist.
Yeah.
Unless you're the super fan and you know, oh, you know, you've seen, because there's pictures of Beyonce as a child being a singer and being on Star Search and stuff like that. But there's others that you haven't seen their journey be recorded. You're just seeing that they're at the end. I don't know why this name popped in my head, Shaboozey. I just love the way it sounds. But Shaboozey is an artist that he just came out of, well, he didn't come out of nowhere, but he was a country artist. I don't pay attention. And he came out and did the song, you know, whatever. And now it's like, well, where did he come from? But he had a journey. He started out.
He's been singing a minute. It's not like he just started singing yesterday.
Yeah. He's been doing this in a genre where it was probably hard for him to emerge, but he emerged. And I'm seeing him as the artist today, but he didn't just come out yesterday. He's been out for a while, hanging out in a genre I didn't pay attention to. Or if you're in that genre, you paid attention to country music, you may not have known, you know, he was playing some little, you know, dive on the road or something, playing an open mic somewhere. See, that's what I mean. You don't see the journey of them starting out. You just see the end result where they made it. No, it took a while to get there. Same thing with you and your brand and your content online. It takes a while.
How long did it take Coke and Pepsi?
Ooh, well, Coke 1880 something.
Yeah. And 1880s. And they almost fell off when they came up with New Coke. I was like,
oh boy,
dude.
yeah.
They who asked you to do that? Okay, so that was not a smart marketing move. But you keep Coke is still in the public eye. They don't have to do as much as they used to. But at one point, somebody was going around, hey, you should try this new cola, or hey, you should try this.
And when it came out, wasn't it marketed as medicine?
Yes, it was. Pepsi, one of them was, and they were selling it as an elixir. And I don't know if that's folklore that it actually had cocaine in it.
Remember, Yeah, I
It
think they were
probably
saying
did.
that in the early days it did. And the thing is how we're talking about all this, because there's a series on, I think it's the History Channel, that talks about the food history, like all the
Mhm.
brands we're talking about. They have an excellent series. I loved it. I think it's still available to watch somewhere. But they talk about, I remember the one about Heinz, the Heinz company, and how they came about because they wanted to make a sauce to hide the meat that
Yep.
people were buying because the meat wasn't fresh, but they had to
Mhm.
eat it because that's all they had. So he made a sauce to make it
57
palatable.
tries, or
Yeah,
probably his steak sauce.
it was the meat. It was the A1 sauce. That's what
Yeah,
I
the
remember.
A1 sauce.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the A1 sauce, and he made it because they would get meat that wasn't fresh, and they had to eat it.
I
This is
guarantee you,
18.
listen,
Yeah.
somebody in the kitchen where he was growing up mixed up a sauce to put on the meat for the family. And then somebody got an idea, we need to bottle this.
Yeah, so he was the one actually making the sauces and stuff. And
Mhm.
I just thought that was interesting. It was like they were showing like the meat was green.
Okay.
Like
I can't
you
do
wouldn't eat
it.
that today. But
No.
this is the 1800s. They had to eat what they ate. So he was like, let me make a sauce to make it go down.
Mm.
A sauce to make this green meat. I think it's the food that built America, or the food. I forgot what the name of the series is. It's an excellent series. So, and there's
Ooh.
they talk about other brands. So I remember Coca-Cola was one, Heinz Company was one, Kellogg's, a whole
And they
bunch
were
of.
using Kellogg's in a sanitarium to try and get people
Yes.
healthy. And
Yes.
so part of their breakfast was the flakes.
Yes, and then I remember that one because they were talking about how Kellogg's and Post became competitors. Because I think the Post guy was over at Kellogg's trying to see what they were doing and take the formula, and then he left and made the Post company. I think it's Post that make the other
It was
cereals.
Post cereals,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Very
fascinating stuff. Fascinating. There's even one for McDonald's. I think there was one for McDonald's, or was that something else? I might be
There
getting
was a
it mixed up.
movie with
Oh, that's the movie. Yes, the movie.
yeah, with Michael Keaton.
Yes, that's the movie.
Yeah.
But I found it fascinating. I was like, wow. I think it's called The Food That America Built, or The Food That Built America.
Oh my!
Don't quote me on that. Google it and see. But these are the things that come about, and the brands that are made. That now all of those brands from the 1800s, they don't really have to do a lot because they have brand success, brand loyalty, brand legacy. Really,
Okay,
those are legacy brands.
So let's bring it back into the 2007 era.
Yes,
with Gary Vee. Gary Vee, we didn't know who he was.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
Until he started, and he
this
kept
little fast talking man.
Well, you need with a potty mouth, but
with potty mouth, popping up all on
posting.
social media, on Twitter.
He kept posting, kept talking, kept sharing, kept going, kept doing it.
Still going.
And now we know who he is. And you can't get away. What did he say? He said, I do 400 and something posts a week.
He do like 300-400 pieces of content a day.
A day, yes. I'm over on Substack. I see him. I happen to flip through Instagram. He's over there. He's on Threads. He's on LinkedIn. I was like,
everywhere.
Okay, he's everywhere. But that took some time.
Yes, it took time. Thank you for bringing that example up, because this is what people always say when he says about I make 400 pieces of content a day. Well, you have a team of 20. He would say, yeah, but when I started in 2008 or whenever it was just me. And he worked at his father's wine store.
Yeah.
And did this on his off time, and then turned all of that into building businesses, like several businesses. So the excuse that, well, you got a team of 20 doing it now, but that's another example of when I started, it was just me. I was the one spending 4 hours a night looking at Twitter, getting in conversations and talking about things. That's another example what Dr. Tachi said about a body of work, not just one thing.
He was talking about wines with people.
Yes, he started talking about wine. That's how, because he started the YouTube talking about wine. This was 2000 and when YouTube started, 2006 or whatever.
And one last example, Marcus Brownlee.
Yes,
he was talking about tech when he was 14, 15.
He was a teenager.
Talking about tech. He was interested in tech, and he about a keyboard or a computer, and he would do a video about it. And now everybody knows him. And
brand deals everywhere.
Right, but he didn't quit. He consistently posted
a body of work.
Stuff he knew about.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi, for that comment. A body of work. I love that. A body of work, not just one piece of content. Well, I posted one piece of content, or they're really gonna buy my thing now. They're really gonna go to my link in bio. With Gary V out here making 400 pieces of content a day. Which one do you want to do? Now, here's the deal. You don't have to make the 400 pieces of content. That's him. And you know how he makes it? He just talks. He goes to a conference and they pay him $250K or whatever they pay him. And he chops that up into things. And he has a ghostwriter that writes his books and his blogs. And they take when he talks and they make content out of it. That's how he makes it.
And he's diligent. If he
and he didn't he even make out a presentation, 44 slides or something of how
he
doesn't even gatekeep it.
He gave it away, and I'm like, oh, I'll take this.
It's still there. It's still there. It's
he did a slide deck.
Just Google Gary V slide deck. Maybe you'll find it like that.
Right. And I get a text message whenever he got something new going on.
And see, this sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yes, but you know what? He did it before like you said, before he got the team that was doing it, he was still consistently doing it
himself.
Right.
While working in the store all day. He said, I would come home and spend my time on Twitter until it was time to go to bed. Who's going to do that? How many people are going to do that?
Anyway.
Not many, but that's what you do to build a body of work. Again, I didn't know who Shabuzi was, but day one, he was doing something at Shabuzi or whatever his name, because I think he has an African name and they couldn't pronounce it in school, so they called him Shabuzi. I think that's his story. But he started out somewhere.
Yeah.
You weren't there to see it. The tree. How do you think trees are planted? Somebody plants a little seedling tree, and you ignore it until it gets to be a big oak or a redwood or whatever, and then you're like, "Oh!" But
so I heard that a bamboo, you won't see it for 5 years.
Yes,
it's growing.
Yes, I heard that.
You're not seeing nothing happening above ground.
0.
5 years, and then
you see nothing.
And then it shoots up in the 5th year. Wow.
Okay, so real quick about Marcus Brownlee, because I was curious. I went to his YouTube channel. I wanted to see how long he's making videos. His oldest video is 18 years. 18 years. There's the bamboo. Now, again, these are things that people go, I can't see myself doing a YouTube channel because I'm not Marcus Brownlee. I'm not at his level of success. I don't see how I could do it.
He see all these people who have endured, stayed in their lane, talked about their genius, what they knew. They weren't talking about stuff. He doesn't talk about baking bread. He talks about tech.
And some of his oldest videos I saw, there was a couple about golf, and then he started transitioning into tech, like, you know, talking about little things. Somebody who's not as big as Marcus Brownlee, but has some of this clout and been doing a lot of work is Roberto
Blake. Roberto Blake, yeah. And he talks about what he talks about. He talks about marketing. He talks about
he's really now known about how to do things on YouTube, how to build a great YouTube channel. But he started out talking about Photoshop and design editing like that, because that was his job, that exactly. He did Photoshop.
And that's what we're talking about here. Yeah. Talk about what you know.
Yeah, a body of work. That's how what Malik was saying, how do I know that you're good in what you're telling us what to do, is because we're here telling you. We're not making this stuff up. We're here every week.
Monday through Friday.
A body of work. You can look. There's a body of work. You look at the body of work as proof. Whether there's one person watching or 100,000 people watching.
And if we can help, and so here's the catch. If we can help one person take the hassle out of their hustle, then we have done our job.
Exactly. And that's all it is about. So I want to leave you with one thing that Jessica said. People forget information, but they never forget to shift in perspective. Focus on content that changes how your audience thinks. And people need a reason to trust what you know, but they also need a reason to believe they can use it and do it in their own lives and themselves. That's it. That's it.
This has been outstanding today, TJ. Thank you for bringing us some more marketing insights.
You're welcome.
And helping us. Okay, again, we learn and do here. So take what you've learned and go do it. Mm-hmm. Apply it in your business, in your world. Go find out what your customers are looking for and that you can help them solve a challenge your customer might be having. Help them solve it. You can reach TJ by going to terryjohnsononline.com everywhere. And she'll be happy to assist, answer any questions. Follow her everywhere, all over the internet. You can Google her and search her, find her, DM her in Facebook, Instagram, Threads.
Wherever you like. Wherever you like to hang out on social media, Terry Johnson Online.
Go find her and then come back next week. We will be back here on next Tuesday, where we do marketing talks every Tuesday. And then she'll also be with us on Friday for Tech Life Weekly, where we do a little weekly tech wrap up to let you know what's happening in the new trends and things in tech. And
we got it. Don't miss this Friday. I got a story that I'm itching to talk about.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
And I feel like we're gonna have a lot of conversation on that one, and it's AI based, so I gotta do some more digging. And thank you, Dr. Taji. She said great job. Thank you,
Dr. Taji.
And Got It and Malik, everybody that was here making the comments.
Yes, thank you for your input on this program for today. We got some new things coming up with BizChix. So again, Terry Johnson Online. You can also scan that QR code.
Oh, the QR code over here.
That's above her head over there, like right there.
Right there.
Yeah, over her head over there. Scan that QR code. It'll take you to terryjohnsononline.com. Look, we have some new things happening. Our coffee talks have now been updated to AI Aunties Live. So we'll be talking about AI and how we can help you get comfortable with your digital life. On Mondays, we'll have conversations with Terry, Lena, and myself, and we might be bringing in some other AI aunties to help too. So look for that on Monday. And TJ will be back here on Tuesday. Wednesday, Coach Karen. Thursday is Robin and with Happy Healthy Habits. And then we're back here on Friday with Tech Life Weekly. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to let Brittany take us home. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.